You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Today's podcast episode releasing during the week of Equip Expo, and I'm super pumped about that. Perhaps some of you guys are running across the bridge right now in Louisville, Kentucky, doing the 5K. Maybe some of you guys are driving down, first thing that morning, maybe leaving out of Dodge just to see the show on Wednesday and Thursday. So you left at good old 4 a.m. I've done that once or twice before with Equip Expo. But either which way, I'm sure a lot of you guys are headed on down to the Super Bowl of lawn care trade shows. And if not, maybe you guys hung back for whatever reason. That's totally cool too. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day and getting the lawns cut, getting the leaves, raked up and sucked up, and getting those snow quotes out the door. At least that's what we're doing this same time, in October. So all things being said, super excited to have returning guests on the show, sharing with us about all the latest and greatest from Team Exmark. Lenny Magnol, how are you doing this afternoon, brother?
Brian, I am great. It's a crazy time of year, so we're all pretty amped, and just trying to make sure we've got everything ready to get in front of everybody. We've got so much. We've got so much to show this year. It's just it's exciting.
I love it. The excitement is infectious. It's contagious, whatever the word is. You and I, before we hit record, I'm like, Lenny, I have so much stuff on my plate and on my calendar. And you're like, brother, I've been back to back meetings like the last couple of days and weeks as well. It's Q4, and I always say it seems like the fall rush is busier than the spring rush with trade shows, conferences. Again, the season switching out, getting already next year's buying, orders in or decisions made, or at least shopping for some of that stuff. So like the fall, people are like, oh, the off season things will slow down. And I'm like, what off season? I mean, this is like the busiest time of year, And so I feel like I share that same sentiment with you. Let's go back to Exmark, Equip Expo, the exciting conversation there. You guys always show up, always have a great team, represent super well, beautiful booth. Let's just take it from the top. We're going to get the latest and greatest from you today, but where and what should people be expecting from Exmark this year at the Equip Expo?
Well, hey, thank you, Brian. Really exciting. So for the first time in a long time, I'm product manager. One of my categories is the Laser Z. So the Laser Z has kind of been what it's been for the last 15, 16 years. And so we're just out of our mind excited. We're going to launch a whole new lineup of Laser Z. So a brand new Laser X series, brand new changes in the S series lineup, and an all new Laser E series that some of these people may have already, depending on what part of the country you're in, may have already kind of snuck out to some guys. And the feedback we're getting is just phenomenal. So that's one of the things we've got going on. We're bringing to market, our turf tracer with XIQ. So our semi-autonomous, if you will, mower that we're going to be offering. And then we've got a late offering that we're going to have down in the walk power mowers that we're excited to talk about as well.
Dude, that is awesome. That is phenomenal. I don't know how much I can share, but I think by now, it's Wednesday, quote unquote, the time of this. So the whole product release will be coming out here in a couple hours if it already hasn't. But you had showed some sneak peeks to me at last year's Equip Expo about some of the changes and improvements and just some general feedback on the Laser Z. We had a little 5-10 minute little chat and session. Actually was hanging out with another great friend, Jeremy Connect with JJ Grounds, and it looks phenomenal. And so I don't know final pencils down what the design is or looks like or what's new or what's changed. Can you give us a little bit of a teaser before people get to watch on YouTube or Instagram to see all the videos and the shorts on all the latest and greatest?
Absolutely. So it's a complete fresh look. It's what a couple of us here have been talking about. When you think of the Laser Z and especially the X series, it's kind of the penultimate of seated ZTRs. We finally gave it on the shell. We gave it the look that it deserves. The cool thing is though is everything that we've done underneath that you just can't see. So we've worked very hard. I don't think it's any secret to know that, just like you guys, labor is an issue at the manufacturing level as well. So the engineering team has worked so hard to take this machine and make tweaks, make design changes that first and foremost help our manufacturing people so they can deliver a more consistent, higher quality product to our dealers. And so what that ultimately means is with all these changes and updates that we've done is that now when you guys receive this machine, you guys will get a machine that is higher quality than we've had maybe ever with the Laser Z. It'll be more durable and reliable. And believe it or not, the Laser Z is very service friendly and requires minimal service at all. And we've actually improved that significantly as well. So the one thing that's going to shock people is we've changed colors a little bit. Really
I was wondering if you guys went with that route, or I was kind of indifferent. I'm like, I don't know, man. You got this 25 year legacy, of Laser Z. And then, I'm like, is this just a fresh paint or what are we doing here? So I was totally different. I'm like, I do not want to move the trajectory of this legacy one way or the other with any of my opinions. So what did you guys end up deciding on that?
So we did. So we've gone away from kind of the light gray with the white, being our accents. And now we're featuring a little bit more red with kind of more of a charcoal gray accent.
Okay.
On the side pods and the wheels, and just really doing things that it makes the machine look like it's one piece, and the cool thing about it is we did all of this, and at the same time, the important thing for me, Brian, we've talked 15, 20 years in the service side of this business. We wanted to make it easier for our dealer mechanics. We wanted to make it easier for the home mechanic, for the owner operator doing all of his own stuff. And to be able to do all of that and bring that into one machine, I couldn't be more prouder of the engineering team than what I am. They pulled everything together, and I think everybody's going to be really excited just when they see the machine. But when they come in and we get to talk to them about what we did, I really hope, and I'd be surprised if that excitement doesn't just continue to grow.
I love it. Well, when you guys had showed us just a couple sneak peeks, some very high level, rudimentary, renders, and just what we're thinking about doing for next year, I said, it looks good to me, brother. And we built our business, on the backbone of the Laser Z. I mean, for years we had a couple of X series, a couple of S series, and as our company continues to grow, obviously moving into the Vertex stand-on platform as well to assist. And we've had the S series and the X series. So I'm all in. I love not only the Exmark brand, but the innovation you guys keep coming up with. It is more than just a stand-on mower. It is more than just a sit-down, front mount, mid-mount mower, guys. It's when you're shopping these different brands out there, it's the total cost of ownership package, the downtime, the reliability, like Lenny was just alluding to, the easeability of service and maintenance. Like there's a lot more that goes into a mower. And sometimes that comes at a little bit of a different price point than maybe some of the other brands out there. But I always say, like, your biggest cost is going to be labor and downtime. And that's what you need to avoid at all costs for all of your equipment, frankly. And that's where I feel like the Laser Z really shines because of how, quote unquote, well they're built and the way that they're built. So, Lenny, do you want to add anything on that? I don't want to beat a dead horse on it, but I mean, I've been enthralled with the Laser Z for 16, 17 years since I've been doing this thing. That was my first mower, or my second mower. My first was a Turf Tracer, or Exmark Viking, if we want to get super technical. But after that, it was all Laser Zs ever since then, brother, since year 2 or year 3. So anything else you want to add on that? Because I know we talk a lot about that with Exmark and what it really means to have a Laser Z.
No, man, you are spot on. And that's one of the things that I've asked, our marketing communications team to really try to work with us on is, hey, look, we aren't we aren't the price point unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are certainly machines out there that are less than us out of the showroom floor. But what are the 15, 20, 50 different things that we do that save you 1%, 5%, or I should say give you 1 to 5% efficiency or productivity increases throughout the year? And when you look at that, if you can just get a little bit more out of the machine, if you can have to do a little bit less with the machine, if you really sit down and you look at those costs, and then, knowing that, hey, look, when I buy this used unit from Brian Fullerton, whether he did the greatest maintenance or not, Laser Z takes very little maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So as I buy that unit or as you sell that machine, it's worth so much more in the secondary market. And we don't control that. You guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
The market controls that. And that's honestly, of everything that we do within Exmark, that's maybe the thing that I'm most proud of is that, hey, look, we can set a price on a machine and look, that's what we sell it for, whatever. But the coolest thing is when I get guys that come back to me and say, man, I ran this thing for 3 years. I put this many hours on. You're not going to believe what I was able to sell this for. And
right.
I put it in Facebook Marketplace and it sold the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, that seems to be a lot of the Exmark product, just broadly speaking. I mean, an Ultra Vac to a 20 or whatever, 30-inch, push mower, Kohler, for sure. I mean, it's a very, very robust. For anybody who's not, quote unquote, drink the Kool-Aid like Lenny and I have, I invite you guys to at least give them a fair shake. Give them a demo, local dealer, or obviously, hopefully at Equip Expo. Or LEL will have some mowers up there as we always do. We bring our whole rig. Like that's what our whole business is built around is route density, efficiency, very, very little, if any, downtime. Like this is what we have to do to be as competitive as possible in our market. I'm sure you guys are, not any exclusive to that conversation as well, right? So that's the idea behind a lot of the Exmark product. Pivoting a little bit here, Lenny, you guys have some new things that are coming down the pike that frankly, kind of, I don't know, they challenge my current way of thinking, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit, if I'm honest too. You got this robotic, autonomous, semi-autonomous mower. There's a lot of conversation about this. A lot of folks have seen some teasers come down the pike. Some other brands, to be honest with you, are also courting, this space. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of conversation going on. A lot of folks have seen what some of the other brands are putting out, a lot of what Exmark is putting out. There's a whole new, what would you call it, like wave or look at how business is done, including getting the lawns mowed. And so can you give me the macro on this whole conversation on autonomous? And then let's kind of zoom down a little bit more about what Exmark's offering here at Equip Expo forward.
You bet. So, I mean, if you look at Exmark over the last, let's say 10 years. So whether it was the commercial 30 or, our 96-inch wing deck and then the 144-inch wing deck or, no matter what it is, a lot of the focus has been around labor, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's where it has created this, I'm not going to say new, but emerging category of these, robotic mowers, if you will, and certainly many different levels, all the way down from, kind of the little homeowner thing that bounces around your yard, all the way up to what we're looking at, which is what we call, a high power autonomous mower. And so it's for me, been in this industry almost 30 years now. It's new. I'm with you, trying to wrap my head around how it's going to affect, Exmark's business model, how it's going to affect our dealers' business model, how it's going to affect, the landscape contractor's business model. Mm-hmm. And there's so many moving pieces to this thing, but it's scary. But just like with anything scary, as you're going up that hill of the roller coaster, the excitement is on the other end, right? And that's what we're super proud that we're cresting that hill, and we're ready to throw the excitement out to people with our Turf Tracer, which we call Turf Tracer with XIQ.
That's right.
The first thing I'd say about it is, I think the first question we always get asked is, why are you doing this on the turf tracer? Walk behind. The walk behind business is kind of stagnant, if not declining. And the reason for us, and because we focus so in depth on the landscape contractor, is that with the robotic mower, we want it to be able to function and perform the same if it is being used manually with an operator, or if it's in its autonomous mode. So one thing you look at is if you're doing this on a seated mower or a stand-on mower or something like that, you've got anywhere from 150 to 250 pounds that's going to change when you go from the balance of the machine, when you go from manual mode to autonomous mode, right? Because you lose the operator. So that's the biggest reason we went with the turf tracer, is because whether there's an operator there or not, it's going to perform the exact same.
That's awesome. And with the turf tracer platform, by the way, just to give a little nod on that, if you are going to take a mower out there that you want doing a beautiful finishing cut, a lot of you guys have a turf tracer. One of the most bulletproof and stood the test of time platforms that's for a mower out there. I mean, Exmark for sure, but any other brand. I mean, the turf tracer, I feel like even on the used market, they'll be recycled 4, 5, 8 users deep before that unit is actually retired with 5,000 hours or finally fails in some catastrophic way with hydros or an engine, right? I mean, those mowers go forever, which is awesome. So that being said, the autonomous can switch back from manual mode to also the fully autonomous mode. And so I know there's a lot here. We actually have a YouTube video that's going to be being released. I know you guys have some great product and great videos that are going to be released, giving folks a little bit more of the how it actually works, the buttons, the features, the sensors, the actual look of the platform. So make sure you guys check out the Burns on Maintenance YouTube tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have that, and you guys can check all of that out. And of course, check out exmark.com to see more. But can you kind of walk us through a high level of how the actual functionality of the mower is going to operate or is intended to operate out there in the field?
You bet. So I'll probably say this wrong, but we kind of talked about it as supervised autonomy, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to bring that machine. Let's say you get to a new property. You're going to get it on the property. You're going to mow the boundary that you want that to mow. Then you go in and you record what we call the exclusion zone. So whether it's, around tree rings or, whatever other obstacles are out there, you mow that, you bring the mower back, and you basically hit calculate route. And so at that point, it's going to map and it's going to look at the property that you just outlined with the exclusion zones, and it's going to show the most efficient way to stripe that property. Okay. And so, obviously most times it's going to be the long way up and back. So if you're good with that, you go ahead and you hit start, and it lines itself up and it'll perfectly stripe itself, up and down that property line. Maneuver around obstacles. It's got that sense built in. So, it knows which way to go around the obstacle. So you keep that continuous stripe around them. One of the cool things that this group has done is that, you hear a lot of guys talk about, well, hey, look, if you constantly go over the same route each time, then, you're going to, you have the possibility of developing ruts.
Mm-hmm.
So next time you're at that property, it knows that property. We still have to mow the boundary or whatever, but then you come in and you hit go, and it'll show the most efficient way. Well, if that's not what you want to do, it can go 90 degrees of that, or it can go to the 45s of that. So you can get either your crosshatch or your diamond pattern built into that. So, again, that goes back to just our focus on quality of cut, after cut appearance, making sure that the job that our mower allows you to do is something that you can take pride in.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say too. I put this thing to the ringer when I was hanging with Jeremy, and the rest of the team with a demo and shooting this YouTube video. And I said, can it do diagonal and horizontals and give me my checkered pattern? I said, I got to have the stripes. And he goes, oh yeah, we've thought of all that. And of course, they're continuing to make improvements on the platform, and my feedback and your guys' field testing. And as these things roll out, what's the idea here with autonomous? Like maybe just to give people the macro. When Jeremy and I were talking, and this thing was mowing, and we're both just kind of standing around watching it mow, I said, I feel like I should be doing something. And he goes, that's the idea. He goes, we had it on this 2-acre commercial site of ours, and then another about acre and a half commercial site. Some of you guys have seen them on Instagram. I fly the drone once in a while to get some nice stripe footages, because the front acres are just beautiful. There's no trees or any kind of things in there to mess it up. So it looks beautiful from the sky, of course. And I said to Jeremy, I'm like, I feel like I should be doing something. And he goes, that's the idea. He goes, you should be able to go trim, hit the perimeters, do some weed pulling while you're here, while you're supervising the mower. Go maybe tag up the bushes or plant some flowers, or, add extra, revenue per hour or revenue on the ticket while you're there visiting the site, or just in general have less fatigue on the user for that, 2 or 3 acre commercial site. And so, can you share a little bit more on that, Lenny? Like any thoughts or feedback, or what are you guys noticing out there? How people are utilizing this mower?
Well, I think you hit it spot on. So, and I think it depends on the type of landscape contractor that's doing it. If it's maybe a very large company and they're out there to mow, it's just, hey, it's a commercial property that they just want it mowed and kept up. That allows that guy, he can go out there, one person, he can have the machine mowing, and just like you said, he can do the trim, he can edge, do some debris pickup or whatever that might be. But then on the other side, maybe you're a full service or whatever. It allows you, and I think this is the cool part, right? It allows you to offer higher revenue generating services to that property while you're already there, without additional labor, right? And so, to me, as I've been trying to pull this whole thing in, just as a labor savings, as whole, absolutely. But to me, hey, look, it's about what do we want to do? Let's drive more revenue. So if I can be there, and I can also, like you said, if I can do the shrubs, if I can plant flowers or take care of flowers, do all this other stuff that I can charge more revenue for, that's the key.
Yeah.
For me, that's the thing that would have me as a landscape if I was a landscape contractor, that's the thing that would have me excited.
And that's the claim to fame with this, having the right size lots, the right commercial, or well, I guess even residential, but having the right size properties, it's really going to shine. And you can talk with a product manager or a sales person and whatnot with the Exmark team, and they'll kind of help you dial in and navigate. For some of you guys that have a little bit bigger business, maybe where you have a portfolio that can support a mower like this to keep it moving the amount of hours it needs to on the right properties that it needs to be on, and maybe you guys are doing some, I don't know, maybe just large commercial or municipalities. There's these huge fields that are almost kind of like mindless mowing, right? That's where you're really going to see a lot of this technology shine. It might not be for your 4,000 square foot residential lawn that needs a Vertex or a Laser Z on there to make it look nice, but for some of you guys that have very interesting portfolio mixes, this is the kind of mower that I would encourage you to give a fair shake and check it out. Whether you see it at Equip Expo or at a dealer open house, and just learn a little bit more about how it might be able to enhance your business and what you guys are doing, especially if you're already courting, those 96 and the 144 type mowers, and you have these big boy, sites, and they require a lot of attention in that regard, and you're looking for a efficient way to tackle them and some great labor savings, of course. That's where this is really going to, I think, be just a great supplement to that whole conversation. So, Lenny, I love it. I think those are the one or two things before we hit record that I knew that were latest and greatest. Anything else that, while we got you here, I don't want to take your whole day. I know you got a busy slew of stuff to get back to. We both do. It's just this time of year. anybody who wants like an hour and a half with, on the phone, I'm like, I'll give you 15 minutes and then I got to get to the next thing, bro. It's just that time of year. But any other quick things that you want to hit on or talk about or mention from Exmark? I mean, there's so many other great products. There's so many other great things at the booth. It's hard to capture it all in 30 minutes or less, but I just want to give you the last thought and we'll kind of land the plane there,
You bet. So, well, on the laser side of it, I talk mostly about the X series. But man, come in and look at the new E series that we put together. This thing has me extremely excited. We've just been able to really make the laser more efficient and down more at a price point that will allow a broader range of guys to help stomach that. We talked about it earlier, but the reality is some people just can't or don't want to get through that hurdle of that initial price, right? So we've got something that gets you into the laser, but still gets you that performance and durability and quality of cut and everything that you love. So come see us about that. The other one that I would talk about is we've got a caster option for the Exmark 30 that we'll introduce. It'll be a later introduction this year, but that's something that we'll have available as well. And just as a whole, whether nothing excited you that Brian and I talked about today, come down and see us. We just want to talk. Let us know what does excite you. There's a good chance maybe we've got a project already in the works, and you can help us steer that. And or if we don't, it can help drive our internal discussion that, hey, there's a lot of demand here. We need to go out and try to capture this. So we just always love. This is my favorite thing to do is to get out and I say I speak for all of us product managers and the engineering guys and marketing sales guys. Favorite thing to do is to get out in front of you guys and talk equipment. Mm-hmm. And please come see us. Dude, you're going to be at our booth.
Yeah.
A way cool t-shirt.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. I think I'm going to be there 1:00 on Wednesday. So if you guys are listening to this in the morning, come say, hey, there might be a line, 50, 100 people deep or 12 people, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's just because I paid my mom to come back to the line 20 times, Lenny, just to make it look a little bit better. Just kidding. But I think I'm going to be there with Keith Kalfas, which is going to be super cool. I love Keith. Keith is coming to our conference this year again. Keith's just a kindred spirit, man. I love everything he's doing. So if you guys want to come hang out, meet us, that'll be super fun, super cool. But I'm telling you, like the Exmark booth is always first class, always world class. The product is always first class, world class. I'm happy to, enthralled, just ecstatic to be partnered up with you guys. You guys always bring the best product. I never have to justify, quality on a product. Maybe price once, when you buy. But quality, I don't have to explain quality ever with Exmark. I don't have to say, oh, yeah, well, it was 25% cheaper and that's what you get. And so here's what we do to put a Band-Aid on something. You don't have to have those conversations. And we're in the growth mode of our company. We just can't be nickeled and dimed to death with downtimes and efficiency. Price, we can always worry about price because we can charge more for the work that we're doing and get the right clientele. But when you have great quality machines that are the backbone of our business to get the job done, like that to me is everything. And that's why we partner with the brands that we do, including Exmark. And so they've got my endorsement. If take it or leave it, I love Exmark. I love everything they got going on over there. I don't think there's any surprise here, Lenny, that I bleed red with the rest of you guys there. And I can't wait to meet the rest of the team, see the rest of the team. Always a good time. And again, Chris Kaiser from OPI calls it a family reunion, and I do feel like it's family when I come back to the Exmark booth. So appreciate the kind words, brother, and right back at you.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It'll be great to get together. It'll be great to talk to all the people. There's so many recurring people that come in the booth, and it's just so much fun. It's as you said, it's a great culmination to that fourth quarter. And like you said, I got to get out of here too because there's the 25 things I said I wanted to get done in March that I got a few days now to get done.
That's right. That's right. That's a good way to. Well, hey, we have Lions as football for over here in the NFL. So, not exactly the best Q4 finishing team sometimes. And I'm not going to let that permeate into my company. So I got to make sure I finish strong with Q4 myself. Amen. So I'm right there with you. I love it. Well, all right. Well, guys, I think this will land the plane. You guys can visit all things exmark.com and then check them out on Instagram, all socials, all web pages, Exmark. You guys know them. Next time, you're at your dealer open house, this is something I used to do a long time ago. And frankly, I still do. I love this. Is I just get catalogs and I start flipping through them, learning about the product, start imagining a future route or where I want to go or what I want to do. Those catalogs were instrumental to me getting my business going in the early days, way before YouTube or product videos and all this kind of stuff that you can watch online now. So if you guys, aren't subscribed to the Exmark, newsletters or YouTube page or follow them on Instagram, I invite you guys to check all that out. And of course, hopefully check out their booth down there at Equip Expo. So that's what we got. Lenny, thank you so much. It's always great to hear from you. Always great to have you on. And I'll look forward to seeing you down in Louisville here sometime here next week.
Absolutely, Brian. Hey, thank you so much for giving me the time to talk. This is a record for us. 30 some minutes.
Normally they go longer, right? Or because we're always, or sometimes shorter because we're both busy. I don't know, but this time of year, I think 30 minutes on the horn is pretty good, right? So I'll let you get back to bigger fish to fry than to hang out with myself. I'm sure the audience appreciates your time, but I'm a small fish over here, so I don't want to take your whole afternoon, man. But appreciate you back at you, and I can't wait to high five you at the booth and get to see the rest of the team. All right? Hey,
absolutely. Take care, brother. We'll see you soon.
You bet.
Attention lawn care pros. You're invited to the biggest event of the year, Entrepreneur Academy Live 2024. November 2nd in Novi, Michigan. Whether you're just starting or scaling up, this is the place to be. Join us for an action-packed day with expert sessions on cash flow management, business automation, client retention, marketing, and more. We've lined up an incredible roster of speakers to help you elevate your business, including Sam Rankin,
Pat Murray,
Ken Deemer,
Brian Fullerton,
Sam Gimbel,
Mark Bradley,
and Jeff Joyner. You'll network with like-minded pros, enjoy exciting giveaways, and get ready to take your business to new heights. Don't miss our Friday night mixer for some fun and camaraderie before we get down to business.
Can't wait to have all of you guys up here in Novi, Michigan, for real. And if you guys have never been, I want to just challenge you to come on out, at least check it out for the first time, at least one time. Should have a couple hundred people there for sure, between 200 and 350 people. Always usually pulls a pretty good crowd. Come work on yourself, come work on your business, get around the heat and involved in a fun environment that's going to challenge you to grow and give you the answers that you need.
I'm telling you, don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to level up and connect with industry leaders. See you in Novi this November. There's a special link in the show description.
Thank you to our sponsors, Exmark, Boss, Short Track, and LMN.
Entrepreneur Academy Live 2024.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.